mention the CNIC of the unregistered buyer. हुआ क्या, बिजनेस कम्युनिटी ने इस पर श्योर किया, दैट हैड टू बी रिवर्स्ड बैक, वो इंप्लीमेंट नहीं हो सका. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट, टू माई माइंड, द गवर्नमेंट इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द विदहोल्डिंग टैक्स provisions in the sales tax by virtue of section SRO 603 and then 704. Proposed Federal Act के अंदर यही provision दोबारा से introduce किया जा रहा है, that the under section 49 the buyer, the taxpayer would be obliged and acquire the CNIC number of the unregistered buyer, जो कि it is expected that they would be the undocumented sector, जो कि बहुत बड़ा scale है, they would not be encouraged or to share their CNICs with the sellers, or particularly उन areas में जहाँ पूरी supply chain undocumented है. So there is a need to revisit this and to rationalize it because it's a very, very important provision which would attract the taxpayers' attention. Next, value of imported goods. Under the proposed mechanism, all services or ancillary to import of goods that to my mind, customs agents, services, chip chandlers, container service, terminals, TV doors are to be taxed at part of imported goods. फेडरल वैट में भी और प्रोविंशियल वैट में भी ये प्रोविजन है कि जो भी जो इंपोर्ट्स से रिलेटेड सर्विसेज होंगी, दैट विल बी ट्रीटेड अंडर द फेडरल वैट एक्ट. अब लिस्ट तो दी नहीं गई है, देयरफॉर ये एक बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन होगा कि कौन सी सर्विसेज टैक्सेबल हैं इंपोर्ट्स के साथ और कौन सी नहीं है. इफ यू रिकॉल प्रेजेंट प्रॉब्लम इन सेक्शन 25 ऑफ द कस्टम्स एक्ट, टू माई माइंड यही प्रॉब्लम आने वाली है. वहां भी इंपोर्ट के ऊपर कस्टम्स ड्यूटी के अंदर रॉयल्टी, टेक्निकल फी, फ्रेंचाइज फीस एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, जो accruing to the importer because of that, accruing to the exporter because of the imported goods, वो बाद में एड बैक होती हैं और उस पर लिटिगेशन होती है. चूंकि यहां भी कोई लिस्ट नहीं बताई गई है, सो वी आर अफ्रेड कि आइडेंटिकल जो लिटिगेशन है वो यहां शुरू हो जाएगी. और एंड वी आर ऑल माइंडफुल ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट ऑल दीज एक्सपेंसेस और ट्रांजैक्शंस दे आर सब्जेक्टिव इन नेचर. कितनी रॉयल्टी पेमेंट होगी, कितनी टेक्निकल फी रेमिट होगी, दैट इज सब्जेक्टिव, और ये इंपोर्ट के बहुत अरसे बाद डिटर्मिन की जाती है. तो दैट मीन्स अगर अपरेंटली इस प्रोविजन को इसी तरीके से हम एक्सेप्ट करते हैं और समझते हैं कि ये इसी तरह से इन प्लेस होगा, तो वी कैन बी श्योर के इसमें एक नेवर एंडिंग असेसमेंट जो है ना इंपोर्टेड गुड्स की, वो खुली रहेगी. सो वी रिकमेंड टू दैट दिस ऑल दिस is to my mind is quite impractical and very cumbersome. Therefore we suggest that the proposed valuation scheme envisaged under 246 vis-a-vis imported goods at present may be restored. Next, रिटेल प्राइस गुड्स एंड गुड्स अंडर स्पेशल प्रोसीजर्स. इस वक्त रिटेल प्राइस का डिस्टॉर्शन मौजूद है. 17 के करीब आइटम्स जो हैं वो डिटर्जेंट्स, टी, कॉस्मेटिक्स, बेवरेजेस, दे आर अंडर द रिटेल प्राइस on which the manufacturer is obliged to discharge tax at the end price, at the retail or the consumer price. Now under the federal VAT ये कहा जा रहा है कि अब every component of supply chain would liable to be registered, but this transaction of these 17 items ये किस तरीके से होगी, that is unknown at the moment. क्या इस पे दोबारा टैक्स चार्ज किया, टैक्स तो पे ऑलरेडी पे हो चुका है. जो स्टॉक भी as on the promulgation of this federal VAT is lying with the distributor, all the wholesalers, will they be taxed again or not? ये ट्रांजैक्शन फेज जो है ये केटर करने की जरूरत है. एंड देयरफॉर वी सजेस्ट दैट अंडर सेक्शन 96 ऑफ द फेडरल वैट these saving clauses may be provided to provide the transition in a smoother way. Next, inadvertence or excess tax payment. At times the taxpayer may make an excess payment, an unwarranted payment of tax. In the present law, there is a provision of section 66 which provides that all excess payments or unwarranted payments may be claimed as a refund separately from the department. Unfortunately, this identical provision is missing from the federal VAT. So we propose that Chapter 5 of the Federal VAT may be amended to provide for repayment of refund of excess tax inadvertently paid by the taxpayer into the government treasury. And we also propose that in line with the dictum of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, there should not be any time limits. That is presently there is the present time limit of 1 year for claiming the refund. That should not be in Federal VAT. नेक्स्ट, ई इंटरमीडिएटरीज, ये बहुत टैक्स फर्टर्निटी ने इस पर काफ़ी ज़्यादा डेलिब्रेशंस की, नेगोशिएशंस की थी. फेडरल वैट के अंदर भी वही प्रोविजन लाया गया है जो कि सेल्स टैक्स में है, रिगार्डिंग functions, registrations and responsibilities of e-intermediaries. E-intermediaries are people who basically facilitate the electronic filing of returns or declarations and other documents on behalf of the taxpayers. The federal VAT provides for joint and several liability of e-intermediaries for any non-compliance with the act made by the taxpayer. On the contrary, सेल्स टैक्स का जो मौजूदा कानून है उसके अंदर प्रोटेक्शन दी गई है. अगर गुड फेथ में इंटरमीडियरी ने कोई रिटर्न फाइल की है, कोई स्टेटमेंट फाइल की है, तो ही इज एब्सॉर्ब फ्रॉम एनी पोटेंशियल लायबिलिटी. अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस इज नॉट देयर इन द केस ऑफ फेडरल वैट. अगर हम इंटेंट को इस वक्त सामने रखें, गवर्नमेंट की जो पॉलिसी है वो ये कि देयर वुड बी वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट अ मास रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड रजिस्ट्रेशन अक्रॉस द बोर्ड ऑफ गुड्स एंड ऑफ कोर्स इन सर्विसेज सेक्टर एज वेल. This would require a lot of e-intermediaries coming into play. To protect them, it would be appropriate if immunity from all potential liabilities may be provided to intermediaries where he has retained a printed copy of the return electronically transmitted by him and that has been duly signed by the representative of the taxpayer or the taxpayer himself. Next, this is the last portion of my presentation which deals with the discretionary powers that are given under the proposed value added tax. These are certain provisions. The department may cancel registration of any person on improper record keeping or filing an unreliable tax return. Now, what is the definition of an improper record keeping or unreliable return is not known. Then another area which requires immediate attention is in the recovery of tax. Under the proposed law for recovery of tax, all officers, I repeat, all officers, without any distinction among their designations of the Inland Revenue, they will enjoy powers of a civil court under the Code of Civil Procedures 1908. And this had also been provided that where there is a difference between the this code and the federal VAT, the later shall prevail. Next. Then these first two areas are correlated. Subject to the approval of the board, an assistant commissioner may arrest any person including a director of a company who is suspected or believed to have committed a tax fraud. और जहाँ tax fraud में अगर उसको arrest कर भी लिया गया तो simultaneous उसको protection दी गई है that no order of the tax officer regarding order passed, assessments, audit, inquiry would be challengeable before any court including high court. So these are to all of I would suggest that all of us would share that these are quite harsh provisions और ये बहुत ही unlimited powers दे देंगे revenue officers को जो कि नहीं होना चाहिए. Then one specific last important thing that since section 72 of the Sales Tax Act would be abolished and there is no identical provision in the federal VAT, therefore the apparent meaning would be that Commissioner Appeals would also be liable to follow departmental instructions in all the quasi-judicial proceedings that they might be before him in any appeal matters. So we suggest that these discretions or powers, they are uncalled for, very harsh, likely to be misused. Therefore, they should be revisited and modified, especially in the light of cardinal principles of equity and natural justice. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings my presentation to an end. I'm thankful for a very patient hearing.
Now we will have a panel discussion segment, and our panelists are Mr. Shabbar Zaidi, Sheikh Saqib Masood, and the moderator is Mr. Mahmood Abdul Razak. I would like to request them to please come to the stage. Please give them warm welcome. Before we start off this panel discussion, I would like to introduce them first. Our panelist, Mr. Shabbar Zaidi, needs no introduction. He is a partner with A. Ferguson and Company, specializing in taxation services. He is a past president of the institute and elected as a council member for 2 consecutive terms. He is a member of the Federal Government Task Force for Tax Administration, member advisory committee for the Revenue Division of the Federal